places I know. They say I'm better alone.
What's been happening today? You know what? Things in life have been up and down and good, you know? It's crazy how we just go through life and we think of different phrases and sayings to get through it, different ways to cope with the life or the different trials that we're experiencing. What I mean by that is, like, you know, when you're like, okay, let's say you break a leg, right? You break a leg, you know, you're skateboarding, you're 35 years old, and you know, you've had your life in a pickle. You know, you never really got to get to that Aflac money, right? So you're skateboarding and you break your leg. You only work at like Office Max, or you only work as like a bartender or a server. Something that, you know, they're not gonna pay for your injury. They're not gonna pay for the time you're out of work. They're not gonna pay for your injury leave. You just have to have had your money saved up and be a smart person, you know? And what's crazy is that happens to people all the time. Like, it's crazy that people will be fine. They'll be just getting by. They'll be living life, you know, like the rest of us, just normal, you know? Maybe sometimes they're up in the good and then they have a bill and then they're down low and they're living paycheck to paycheck until they build it back up. But for a lot of people, that one thing happens, you know? That one thing happens that just sets them behind for the rest of their life. That one thing happens and it makes them, that one thing happens and they become homeless. That one thing happens and they lose their family. The one thing happens and they're in the red. The one thing happens and their life is just changed. In America is a good place for opportunity financially. It's a good place for an opportunity to become famous off of mediums like this. It's a good place to become famous off of just fucking being good at anything. I mean, you can do that other places, but it's something different here in America. We obsess over these type of things. And what I'm saying is, America is not necessarily the best place to have your back. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the ability here to get up, but it's also just as easy that you'll get knocked down, is what I'm trying to say. It's very it just, the ladder goes both ways, you know? It's a double-edged sword. And honestly, one side tends to be a little sharper, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like having a sword. This is what I think it's like. So living in America is like having a sword where the backside facing towards, it's like having a samurai sword. And the backside that's curved towards you, or supposed to be dull, is a sharp-ass blade. And on the front of it, it's mostly dull except the very tip. That's very sharp, just as sharp as the back, if not even sharper. So, then it's just the very tip. It's like a quarter of an inch, maybe like a quarter of a centimeter. It's just like a slight dick. But you can kill them if you hit them with that part. But the thing is, you can't flip that sword around to like use the backside. Maybe you can, but it takes a lot to know who you are as a person. And then there's a samurai sword wielder. All right, follow me on this analogy. It is way easier to like hack away at a tree with that dull edge of the blade and like nothing happens, rather than to cut a whole tree down with the tip of that sword. I guess dude, I'm getting lost in this analogy. If you know what I meant, I'm just gonna leave it at that. America's hard. America's also easy. But like I tell people all the time, you know, I mentioned this in the last episode. If you're extreme sports person, man, why are you here? Like, unless you're a professional and you get paid to be broken, why are you here? Go to Canada, man. Go to a country that's gonna like the government's going to take care of you if something happens. At least give you a percentage of your salary, percentage of your wage, at least something to survive on. That way you don't just completely go homeless or, lose your kid and the dogs, you know? It's crazy that when people like lose, that's one thing I'm scared about when, if I have like a significant other or, like, I have one, but like, like having a kid, it seems to be, with some relationships that eventually the kid is the most important thing and the people who have in the relationship isn't. Isn't that like that? It seems to be the case. And I'm not sure if that's just because bad relationships or it's just eventually, the things that matter most are like the kid. I don't know. It's interesting. I come from divorce. I was born in it. That's all I was molded by it. That's all I ever knew till I was but a boy. But most people, it's not even a big deal. It's not like a sad story anymore. It's just life, which is peculiar. It's interesting when you see another celebrity like getting married, and you're like your initial reaction is like, oh, it's probably not gonna last, and they usually don't. It's interesting how like people get married, but then they know that their schedules are keeping them away from each other for like 9 months out of the year, 10 months out of the year, and you're expecting the relationship to be fine. You're expecting everybody to be on the same page. It must be lonely being a celebrity, that you feel an insecurity, that you feel need to get married all the time. You know? How many different celebrities have been married and divorced multiple times really quickly, over like pretty much overnight? But then here's the flip side of that. How many regular people have been married and divorced pretty much overnight? Flip side. Probably the same numbers if you think about it. I don't know. Sometimes we get lost in this whole idea of like judging people, but as soon as we start judging them, we realize mid sentence, like, oh, wait, probably everybody's like that. Now, save there are probably some things that not everybody's like. You're probably not, I don't know, you're probably not complaining about, a parking spot at your local yoga place if you got some bills to pay, you know? Like there's bigger things on your bread than that shit. Some people decide to get mad because there's no more like chicken sandwiches at fucking, Wendy's or something. It's like, dude, they're out of chicken sandwiches, man. What are you gonna do about it? Why are you mad? People are just mad at everything these days. People mad about you say something sideways. You know? Like, you can make a joke. And someone's like, obviously knows you're trying to make a joke. And all of a sudden they're mad. Now, I know that people are not good at joking. Like, I know that's a thing. So those people probably shouldn't be making jokes. But at the same time, it's also like context. Like, I'm not, so if somebody comes up to me and tries to make a bad joke, I'm just gonna be like, I don't like that joke. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna try to fucking ruin this person's life. They were trying to be funny. Now, if they were not trying to be funny and they're trying to be a fucking asshole, then that's a different situation. You're no, but like for real, it's use context clues, man. Just like not try to have a little bit more security. People just want to react. I mean, I get it to a certain extent because when I'm driving, I've been driving on my local highway, I-4, recently. And if anybody has driven on Interstate 4 in Middle Florida, it's quite the bitch. And my initial reaction when I get cut off or anything like that happens is to be like, fuck you, you motherfucking piece of shit. I hope you and your family die in a burning car crash, but no one really dies. They're just heavily injured, but no one really gets hurt. It's just, I just don't want anything to happen, but I want something to happen. I get down this really disgusting road where I'm just like nasty as fuck because I'm just like, you crossed me? And it's super whack, man. Like we shouldn't be like that mad about things. You just let things go. We all have those things though that get to us. Like I'm a pretty calm person. Like I don't flip out that much. I don't over stress about a lot of different things. But when technology slows down or the internet doesn't work and things lag, I get heated. Or when you expect something like a simple job to be done, I get heated. something we're working on, something I'm working on, something everybody that's in here is fucking trying to calibrate. But it's tough. It's tough. It's like wiping your ass. If wiping your ass is tough. But this is important that everyone just keeps trying. I think is the most important thing in life. When you stop trying is when, you know, shit just starts going downhill for everyone, I guess. And the thing about shit going downhill is that it just builds up grass, and eventually you just have a grassy knoll, a shit knoll coming at you, and as high as you can jump. Your knees probably not gonna be able to clear that thing, and it's gonna like a type of thing, and then you're caught up in the shit knoll. A mobile shit knoll rolling down the hill, and then once you get to the cliff, it's smooth sailing from there, just literally in the water. And now you're on a shit knoll boat, and you're just coasting to the next island, trying to be the pirate king. This is the type of life that we live, man. This is the type of issues that we deal with every day. These are problems that I'm bringing to you. If you can appreciate the life that you're living, do it. If you can live a proud life of who you wanted to be, never compromising yourself, do it. If you want to work on the videos that you've wanted to do it. If you wanted to tell that girl that you hate her perfume, do it. If you want to tell your mom that you one time put laxatives in the chili beans at a local cook-off, do it. She'll forgive you. If you want to find a cat and then attach wings to it, but not like animatronic wings or biological or bionic wings, but more like bird wings to it, you probably shouldn't do it. But mentally, you can do it. If you want to like smoke some weed with a group of homeless men, you're probably gonna stay there for the rest of your life, but you're gonna do it. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes you don't need to watch Shia LaBeouf on a green screen. Sometimes you just need to watch WoeIsDead episode 3 to get some of your local Java. Yeah, press that now Java in that morning. What else is going on? Fucking One Piece Stampede's coming out. They did a collaboration with Puma. An anime did a collaboration with a shoe. Now, I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that before, but people say One Piece is overrated. One Piece is yeah. Sword Art Online come out with some shoes. Yeah, the fucking Fairy Tail come out with some fucking dick ticklers. No, because you know why? Because both of those shows are overrated as fuck. Yeah, I said it. Fairy Tail, eat my ass. Sword Art Online, you were good at first and you dropped the ball. I liked Alicization. I liked the first season of that thing. Everything else, garbage. You were 2 for 5. Well, I didn't really watch Gun Gale, so maybe not. But Sword Art Online is so overhyped. It doesn't hold a candle to a lot of these different podcasts. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to a lot of these different animes. Like, I can so many One Piece, Naruto, No Game No Life, Promise Neverland, Attack on Titan, Cowboy Bebop, Bleach, Code Geass. I mean, Samurai Champloo, Gurren Lagann, Steins Gate, Great Teacher Onizuka, Berserk, My Hero Academia. I can list so many that are just leagues better than Sword Art Online. FMA. Come on. So it is what it is sometimes, and I just want to say thanks for listening. I just want to do like a quick 13-15 minute podcast and just talk about some things, let them things out there. Hopefully I'll be getting a guest on soon. That's a cough from the god of thunder. So I want y'all to take care. want y'all to be well. I want y'all to eat I don't know, eat some more ham. Ham, I feel like, is a very underrated lack of protein, source of protein rather. I feel like that people don't really like ham because it reminds them of like maybe like an aunt that used to have like some skin that looked like ham, like that kind of pink, like wet, moist, like little like like moldy, yellowy type of, I don't know. It's not your fault. So thanks for listening, guys. All right.